There's a question that's haunted the ambitious for centuries. What is the fastest way to get rich? Not the most moral, not the safest, the fastest. Most people spend their lives chasing shadows, working hard, saving modestly, following rules written by men who never wanted them to win. They live inside an illusion, believing effort alone builds empires. But the truth has always been in plain sight, hidden not by secrecy, but by design. Because those who understand power have no interest in teaching it. If you knew how the game truly worked, you'd stop playing it and start building your own. So let's break the illusion. Riches don't go to the smartest man in the room or the hardest worker in the factory. If intelligence or effort were the key, teachers and laborers would own the world. But they don't, because the system doesn't reward virtue. It rewards power, and power, when properly leveraged, prints money. Centuries ago, Machiavelli didn't write for the crowd. He wrote for the rulers, for the few who dared to control instead of obey. And his truth still cuts today. Wealth is born from control. Not kindness, not labor. Control of perception, control of resources, control of people. Money flows fastest to those who shape reality, not those who simply live in it. That's why the rise to riches often looks sudden. One year, a man is invisible. The next, he's leading companies, making headlines, dining with kings. But nothing about his rise was sudden. It was surgical, strategic, planned in silence. He didn't stumble into wealth. He bent reality until it delivered him everything he wanted. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people are trapped by their own caution. They mistake safety for success. They trade boldness for comfort. They give their youth to jobs that promise security, only to retire with crumbs. But modesty doesn't build empires. Boldness does. Machiavelli would scoff at the idea of slow wealth. He would say, "He who dares is he who ascends." The ladder to riches isn't climbed step by step. It's seized by those who leap while others hesitate. It's not luck. It's courage and cunning rewarded by momentum. The rich don't play fair. They play to win. Most people stay broke because they trade the one thing that never scales: time. They sell their hours, one by one, hoping to buy freedom decades later. But freedom isn't purchased. It's taken. The janitor works harder. The CEO moves capital. One is exhausted. The other is enriched. Why? Because the CEO built leverage. He controls systems, people, and perception. That's the difference between effort and influence. Power creates wealth, and power is simply the ability to make others act in alignment with your vision. That's why perception matters more than truth. If you are seen as powerful, people lend you their energy, their trust, their time. You multiply those, and you rise. So, if you want wealth fast, stop acting like a laborer. Start positioning yourself as a leader. Stop trading effort. Start trading direction. Build systems. Build movements. Build attention. Every empire is built on the backs of those who follow. So the first step is simple. Stop following. If your environment rewards obedience, you are in a cage. No matter how golden it looks. Every paycheck that buys your silence also steals your fire. And while you wait for the right time, the bold are already buying companies, buying land, buying time. Because the world rewards movement, not hesitation. To move fast, you need leverage. And leverage means doing something once that works for you 1,000 times. That's why ownership matters. Own a business, own digital real estate, own assets, own attention. Because ownership compounds. Employees build other people's empires. Owners build dynasties. But there's another invisible force that accelerates wealth. Perception. The way people see you determines the doors that open. Confidence attracts opportunity. Charisma attracts investors. Certainty attracts followers. Control how you're seen. Craft the narrative. Make your presence magnetic. so that opportunities chase you before you even ask. But none of this works without boldness. You must develop a bias for action. Most people drown in hesitation, waiting for the perfect moment. But perfection is the enemy of speed. The rich act before they're ready. They leap while others plan. And even when they fall forward. Because in this world, speed beats perfection. Move fast, and they'll call you lucky. Move decisively, and they'll call you reckless. But that's because you're breaking the unspoken rule. Don't move without permission. Machiavelli never asked for permission. He acted, he conquered. And centuries later, his words still echo. Because the bold always write history, while the cautious read it. The reason most people never move fast is fear. Fear of loss, fear of judgment, fear of failure. But the greatest loss is the life unlived. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's movement through it. The wealthy don't feel less fear. They just don't obey it. So how do you begin? You act. You do the one thing you've been avoiding. You send the message. You launch the brand. You take the risk. Not tomorrow, today. Because wealth doesn't wait. It rewards the daring. And once you dare, something shifts. You move differently. People sense it. Opportunities start chasing you. What looks like luck to others is simply the world responding to your boldness. Let's go deeper. If you want to move faster than the crowd, stop relying on effort. Start relying on multipliers, money, people, knowledge, attention. These are the 4 accelerators of rapid wealth. Money, most fear debt. The rich use it. Loans, partnerships, investors. These aren't risks, they're rockets. While others save to build the first brick, the bold build the tower with someone else's resources. People power multiplies through delegation. You can't scale alone. You need armies, partners, followers, people who move in sync with your vision. That's not weakness. That's empire building. Knowledge, not passive learning, asymmetrical knowledge. Knowing what others don't and acting before they do. Spotting trends before they're obvious. That's how fortunes are made in silence, then revealed with shock. Attention, the modern weapon of kings. In this age, attention is currency. If people know your name, they trust you. If they trust you, they buy, they follow, they invest. One idea seen by millions can change your entire life. That's why influencers rise faster than laborers, because attention scales. But most people still move alone, quietly, cautiously, thinking humility is virtue. It's not. It's a slow death. The powerful move with alliances, with armies, with momentum. They don't wait to be loved. They aim to be obeyed. Humans follow motion, not perfection. So act, even when the path isn't clear. When others wait for the map, build the road. That act alone creates magnetism, and magnetism attracts money, because leverage beats labor, every single time. And yes, when you rise fast, you'll attract resistance, jealousy, criticism, betrayal. But these are not signs you're wrong, they're proof you're moving. If no one tries to stop you, you're not moving fast enough. Machiavelli warned power will always have enemies, so expect resistance, and smile when it comes. It means you're evolving beyond their reach. Stay the course long enough, and something incredible happens. You stop chasing wealth. Wealth starts chasing you. People seek your approval. They quote your words. They move your way. Because you've become necessary. At that level, money becomes automatic. It flows to you because you now represent control, vision, and stability. You no longer just own assets. You shape environments. You don't follow trends. You create them. That's the level Machiavelli revered. Not the man who counted coins, but the one who controlled the mint. So ask yourself, where does money already flow? Where are the rivers of wealth in your world? Position yourself there, not at the edge, at the source. In rising industries, Emerging technologies, attention hubs, move early, move fast, move boldly. Because the first mover takes the lion's share, everyone else fights for scraps. That's not gambling. That's strategic preemption. It's acting before the crowd even sees the opportunity. It's moving while they're still debating. And when they finally notice, they'll call you an overnight success, never realizing you were 10 moves ahead. That's the beauty of speed. It's invisible, until it's undeniable. And when you master this, you stop chasing opportunities. You become the opportunity. People pitch you. They offer equity, partnership, and access, because your presence itself adds value. That's when the game changes forever. You're no longer playing to survive. You're playing to rule. And yes, it will make people uncomfortable. They'll whisper, criticize, and try to pull you back down. But the lion doesn't explain himself to the sheep. He roars, and the world adjusts. So when they doubt you, let them. When they envy you, smile. Because noise means motion. Resistance means progress. And progress means you've become unstoppable. Because the end goal isn't just money, it's power. Money is the shadow. Power is the source. The wealthy can lose it all and rebuild. Because their true wealth isn't cash. It's influence. Build systems that work without you. Build brands that convert while you sleep. Build a presence that commands attention before you even speak. Don't work for the machine. Own it. And never forget this: you're not here to compete. You're here to dominate. Competing is for those waiting for permission. Dominating is for those who take it. So burn this into your mind: wealth flows not to the careful, not to the kind, not to the quiet, but to the bold, the